When I was a basketball player, I used to hit jump shots, and on my second jump shot in a guy's eyeball, I used to say, back-to-back jack, and start laughing as I ran down the court. It was a little bit dorky, but I wasn't mad about it because it was mine. And if you emphasize the jack, back-to-back jack, and guys would be like, shut up, Dan. And I'm like, I ain't shutting up because I have to talk. It's what I have to do, and I made it a career, so bite me. Anyway, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Rashee Rice, Chris Jones, back-to-back, say it with me, back-to-back jack. That's right. They go back-to-back. They are a dynasty. Now, I get it in the world of sports talk. I was listening to my boy Carton this morning, and he was ripping on sports talk for talking about dynasty. I don't know what to tell you, man. That's 2 in a row, and they go for a three-peat. When you deal with Patrick Mahomes, the one thing you're dealing with is greatness. And we told you, Saban, Meyer, Mahomes/Chiefs, never, ever, 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 ever bet against them. Or actually, it's not never bet against them. It's always take them and the points, including at halftime. Now, that's just the way the world works. They are going to be there for you. And you knew it was coming, didn't you? Didn't you know it was coming? Like, I think we set the scenario. I'm going to get into it in a minute. But I think we set the scenario. You did not want to be on the ass end of the Mahomes with the ball, down 3, touchdown wins it. We talked about this all last week, and it came true. We also told you that this felt like a game that Mahomes was going to have to throw for 300 yards, and he did. Why did we think that? I'll tell you exactly why. Because we coached. I watch. I pay attention. I listen to the right people. And so what happened? Here's what happened in the game. They wanted to run the ball. They did. And my great executive producer, Aaron Spielberg, said, Dan, Pacheco, mediocre game. I forget the word he used, but it was one of those smart words. I said they got to throw and commit to throwing and don't even look back because there was nothing there for the run. On the other side, the 49ers were idiots. I mean, first possession of the second half, they're not running the football. I felt like Christian McCaffrey was going to get 6 to 8 no matter what he did. He could have fallen down forward and gotten 6 to 8. But they decided, they being Andy Reid and Matt Nagy, said, you know what? Here's the deal. We're going to throw this football. We're going to put it in the hands of old number 15. And you know what old number 15 did? Old number 15 delivered. We're going to talk football here for a minute. We'll get into all the ancillary stuff. I'm looking forward to talking to Elshon Jeffrey and the great Bowling Green grad. Insane stories of him. Great linebacker with the Raiders, Phil Villapiano. But all Mahomes did was go 34-46, 333 yards. He did get sacked, had an interception, but so what? How good was he at cutting time? You know what we talk about cutting time is that time where cuts. Where you got to have the big ones, where you got to have the sack, where you got to be ready to rock and roll, and you got to be ready to do it, and you can't make a mistake, because if you make a mistake, you know exactly what happens. You get your ass beat. One mistake, Mahomes, you get your ass beat. One sack, ass beat. That's right. One interception, ass beat. A fumble, done. It is cutting time, and Mahomes did what Mahomes did. You know, all the racists at ESPN sitting there waiting, hoping. Oh, my God, I hope Brock Purdy throws an interception. Oh, my God, I hope Brock Purdy shits the bed. Oh, my God, I hope Brock Purdy messes it up, right? I'm looking at you, RG3. I'm looking at you, Ryan Clark. I'm looking at you, Big Fat Woody. I'm looking at you, all you clowns on ESPN that have jobs because of DEI. You were hoping, you were praying, but Brock Purdy showed out, 255 yards, so he covered. 23-38, one interception, one sack. I thought he was terrific. I'll tell you this, Juwan Jennings was going to be the MVP, caught one, threw one, had the Super Bowl gone to to San Francisco, but it wasn't going to San Francisco. You knew this and I knew this. The only time I was a little bit nervous is when Mahomes took him down the field and only got a field goal to tie it. I thought to myself, oh, boy, this is before the last tie. Oh, boy. So anyway, Mahomes found Kelce late. Why was that significant? Because Kelce lost his mind early. And Kelce losing his mind early set up something that was kind of interesting. Kelce and Taylor Swift are America's couple. Kelce is in every commercial. The only way this was going to, after the video was shown of Kelce screaming in the face and bumping the lovable, jolly old Andy Reid was if Kelce played late and won the game. Well, guess what Kelce did? Kelce played late and won the game. I like Travis Kelce a lot. I really like the entire deal. There it is right there, the entire deal with him and his brother. But this is inexcusable. This is asinine. But Kelce ends up 9 catches, 93 yards. He led him in receiving. But this is ridiculous. And Andy Reid deserves better than this from some, I don't know, insane freaking self-important douchebag tight end. There's always a part in an NFL game where it is idiot player acts out time. It's usually a diva wide receiver. Think A.J. Brown. Think Tyreek Hill. Terrell Owens led the league in it. And then Ocho Cinco wanted to get popular, so he started doing it. But the fact of the matter is, Travis Kelce's act was tired. He had a problem. He was going to go from America's dude with America's sweetheart to a problem. Hate it. What are you doing? Andy Reid's beloved. You're bumping your coach. You're screaming at your coach. Unless you show up with 8 catches in the second half and about 90 yards all in the second half. And he did. He got the ball down to the 10. They win. After the game, Andy Reid says, we got emotional players. Pretty good by Andy Reid. All right. I don't know. It seems like I was right. Do we have the audio of me being right the other day about this game? You know I love when I'm right. Do we have it? So the numbers are this for Purdy. The numbers are this for Mahomes. They've actually gone up. Brock Purdy over under passing yards, 248.5. I don't know if I'm going to touch that. I am going to touch Mahomes at 261. I want Mahomes at 261. I think Mahomes at 261 is pretty good, and I'm going to take it. Look, I got a feeling Mahomes is going to do one of those deals where, oops, I did it again. And he throws for about 3 bills. I mean, I study. What can I tell you? I watch. I pay attention. While you're listening to me and you're coming to me for information, I'm gathering the information. It just felt like it. And then early in the game, I saw what they were doing. I saw they were trying to run. I also saw that Nick Bosa was just killing them. Nick Bosa on the edge was setting the edge. Nick Bosa was getting a lot done. I couldn't take my eyes off Nick Bosa. He was in one-on-one coverage. But if we're going to talk about the football game, I'm going to try to get his dad on either this afternoon on my show or tomorrow. Nick Allegretti filled in for Joe Tui. Tui is like the best left guard in football. Nick Allegretti was I think, late draft choice. His dad and I are friends. His dad came on last year. His dad hit the longest home run in the history of Junedale Little League off of me. His dad, when I was playing shortstop, he was playing left field at Salesian Prep, threatened an entire team because I was making about air after air after air. They were making fun of me, and at the end of the inning, he dropped his glove, went over to the entire team, and threatened to kick all their asses. I've always liked Carl Allegretti. He was a year ahead of me in high school. Went and played at Butler. His son, Nicky, is one of the great stories in the NFL. Comes in, played in the Super Bowl a few years ago, caught a lot of hell when they lost to Tom Brady. He did. But now he's back, and he was great yesterday. I couldn't keep my eyes off him either. He was fantastic. He dominated his position to the point where the 2 guys in the booth, I'll get to them in a minute, actually started talking about, well, he might have blocked by Allegretti. Nice pull by Allegretti, and they were right. They missed a bunch, but that's okay. They watched the ball. I don't. But I got to tell you, Nick Allegretti was fantastic, and salute to him. I texted his dad this morning. I didn't get a text from him last night. Usually I do. But I texted his dad this morning and say, let's go, man. It's a tradition. So Carl Allegretti, Nicky's dad, will either be on with us at some point tomorrow or he'll be on my 14:30 show this afternoon. Either way, I just love talking to proud dads of kids that came in and played their off. Couple of things. You know, there's idiots. The downside of the NFL is you have idiots. A.J. Brown, I mentioned him, Tyreek Hill. So these 2 guys, well, they're trying to use coded language, but you can't get coded language by double fizzle, and I am double fizzle. You can't get the coded African-American, we're being slighted against because of racism. Past me, you can get it past other white guys, but white guys are scared. This is why I have so many African-American friends, because they know I'm not afraid to call them out. Well, this is total crap. So Travis Kelce loses his mind, and he loses his mind on his coach. So all of a sudden, you know what's coming. Here's what's coming. The cheetah. Tyreek Hill. He of being the dumbest human being alive. He of being the guy that cannot keep it in his pants. A.J. Brown, if that was me, I would have been kicked out the league. Out the league. I would have been kicked out the league. Yeah, you would have been kicked out the league right then. You're an idiot. But we know you're an idiot because wherever you go, bad things happen with your team. Tyreek Hill says, but we know why, though, right? Yes. Let me help you with that. Yes. You would have been kicked out of the league, A.J. Brown, because, well, the league dislikes African Americans. I mean, you can tell. Every diversity report shows that the league dislikes African Americans. Every hiring cycle, particularly the assistants, now the head coach, shows the league doesn't like African Americans. The end racism, that's directed towards, helping who? White guys? Be kind. Oh, my God. Inspire change. The NFL has jumped up and down, stood on his head, and shit snowballs to get itself in good favor with the African American community, but it's never enough for players. Well, it's never enough for dumb players. And if you've ever seen Tyreek Hill speak or you know his family history, he's just an idiot. He's kind of a farm animal. He just takes out his wang and starts sticking into different women, having kids left and right, and then goes about his business. It's exactly what the deers outside my house do, or the fox, or the coyote, or hell, I don't even know who else is out there stooping, but there's some crazy-ass noises at night outside my house. So A.J. Brown and Tyreek Hill are alleging racism because here's what you do. When you're afraid to call idiots out on racism, which most white media is, or most media in general, you know what a deal. You end up with more accusations. Hey, it ain't like, hey, okay, we're solving if there was a problem. There was no problem ever, but there is, we got to say there is, and we need change and hope and, hope and change. Yay, rah, go fight, win. But anyway, these two idiots showed once again that they are idiots. And I like it. I like that there's never a day that goes by that an NFL idiot doesn't show that he's an idiot. We'll chronicle from this day forward the idiot NFL player. There's a lot of great NFL players. In fact, I would argue that NFL players are really smart. I would argue that NFL players are among the smartest of our athletes. But the idiot wide receiver, the guy who's always a victim, poor A.J. Brown, what a victim A.J. Brown is. Oh, my God, being black has just been terrible for him. Oh, my God, what a victim Tyreek Hill is. All these women keep getting knocked up. It can't be Tyreek Hill's fault. I mean, he's just a guy with a penis, wagging it around. Not his fault women will spread their legs for him. Not his fault he don't need a condom. Not his fault he's one of the dumbest freaking human beings alive. It's the way God made him. I salute you. I saw the commercials. I'll wash your feet. But the fact of the matter is you two guys are idiots. You show yourself to be idiots. And the more white, black, any media is afraid to call it out, the more you're going to see idiots. Help a brother out. Call out an idiot. Hey, this was weird. Not weird in the sense that, no, weird in every sense. I wrote down here, this is weird. And then I wrote down, in every sense. I was going to kind of contradict myself, but Chip Kelly, leaving the UCLA job, UCLA, to go be the offensive coordinator of the Ohio State University once Bill O'Brien left to become the head coach at Boston College is weird. I'm going to tell you why. I got to take this hat off for just a minute. I apologize for this head thing. I could take it off and gross you out. I could show you my knee scar. My dad one time showed his hernia scar at our dinner table. I wasn't mad about it. I went ahead and ate. No biggie. Hard to gross me out with stuff like that. If you'd like, I can show it. Anyway, here's the deal. Chip Kelly, when you're the head coach, practice is over. You got a choice. You can go home. You can go golfing. You live in Brentwood, Westwood, wherever. You can go hang out at Bel Air Country Club. You can go try to sniff around Hollywood and Vine and see what's starlit. You can do whatever you want. You know what? As an assistant, and maybe it's different in football, you can't. At least when you worked for Bobby Knight, you had to stay till he left. Now, when I worked for Calvin Sampson, I don't even know why, but I didn't care. I was going to leave no matter when I wanted to leave. It was just different. But Bob Knight, you better get there before him, and you better stay after him, and everything in between. And then I became a head coach. And I'm like, free at last, free at last. Good God Almighty, I'm free at last. Wait a second, I want to take my wife to lunch. Let's go, baby. So it's weird on that standpoint. It's weird from the standpoint of being the boss. A guy like Chip Kelly, who's been the boss, being the boss is kind of your personality. Here's where it's not weird. Chip Kelly may have said, I don't want to be the boss no more. We're not going to win here at UCLA. We don't have NIL money. Our academic requirements are real. Nobody really cares about UCLA football. Hell, when they played Bowling Green, I think they played them in the LA Coliseum, and they were like $5,000 there. It's not like Ohio State. It's not like Oregon, where Kelly coached. It's not like Michigan. The funniest thing about Chip Kelly is every little female NFL reporter. Chip Kelly, I think he was with with the Eagles? First half against whoever he was playing. Every little female reporter in the NFL went, yes, please. More Chip Kelly, yes, please. Like 100 of these little women going, yes, please. And I realized that female reporters in the NFL are idiots. Just stone idiots. Anyway, they've done nothing to change my mind either. They haven't. I'm sorry. You can say whatever you want. Maybe that's offensive. I don't care. 90% of men reporters in the NFL are idiots. I don't know what to tell you. You're all in pocket. Go away. If that's misogynist, yeah, that's on you. If you do, what do you want? Separate but equal? You want fair treatment but special treatment? No, you're an idiot. I mean, anybody going to listen to Judy Batista or whatever her name is? How about Christine Brennan? We're going to get a dose from Heather Dinich? Child, please. It's like reading a first-grade account of nothing. Anyway, so Chip Kelly, yes, please, gets fired like 10 minutes later because no thank you was the answer. So Chip Kelly decides, hey, look, maybe I'm tired of being a head coach. Maybe I don't want my record. I should have left Bowling Green 2 years in advance. If I lose 2 years in advance, my record was already double digits over 500. Hell, I'd have been like a star. Should have done it. Didn't do it. Who cares? But long story short, and maybe Chip Kelly wanted to get into real football. He's like, look, I'm going to have Michigan come out here. I'm going to have Ohio State. I'm going to have Penn State. Are you kidding me? I'm getting my brains beat out by USC? Nah. So he became the offensive coordinator of Ohio State. And I got to tell you, that's a win for Ohio State. Chip Kelly, I don't know him in person. He looks kind of like a fat prick. But the truth of the matter is his reputation is this: gunslinger, fun offense, let's get the ball down the field, quarterback friendly, wide receiver you, Ohio State. We're ready. We got it. Let's lock and load. Pretty good for Ryan Day. Pretty good for Ryan Day in terms of having kind of a guy around him that's been a head coach. Urban Meyer told me Greg Schiano's best football coach he's ever been around. And when Greg Schiano was on Urban Meyer's staff, they were pretty good. You got to hope that Chip Kelly fills that Urban Meyer role for Ryan Day. And think about this. Sherrone Moore, he of the crying and being a victim, well, because Jim Harbaugh was a cheat, he takes over at Michigan. Sherrone Moore did a great job. But he ain't no Jim Harbaugh. Quarterback's gone. Others are gone. Pretty good time to be an Ohio State Buckeye, ladies and gentlemen. And Chip Kelly figured that out. Good for him. I've always liked UCLA's uniforms, though, and I've never understood how UCLA couldn't be as good, at least, as USC. I understand student body right, student body left, but that was in the 70s. What do you think of my head? You want me to take it off and give you a look? Nah. How about Merrill Hoge? So here's the thing. Now, football's over, and we're going to get into what? Football really never sleeps. So we're going to get into the NFL draft. And what, pray tell, is going to be all the rage in the NFL draft? Say it with me, Caleb Williams. That's right, Caleb Williams. Chicago Bears, Justin Fields. Those three right now tied at the hip. So let's paint a scenario. You're the Bears. You got a choice. Do you want Justin Fields? I personally would. I'd trade the pick. I'd go get a S ton of players and get me some guys. That's what I would do. But I'm not there every day. I'm not watching the 22 tape. I'm not sitting there evaluating Caleb Williams or that Drake May or Blake May or whatever the hell the latest May is out of North Carolina. Hell, I remember when his dad was playing. I was playing. His dad was playing. So I don't know that closely. But I know this. In the modern NFL, give me a guy like Justin Williams that can move it and sling it. However, here's the other side. Is Caleb Williams the next Elway? Peyton Manning? Is Caleb Williams the next two-time MVP a la Lamar Jackson? Hey, by the way, speaking of Lamar Jackson, my buddy Reggie Jones. Reggie Jones is a African-American that many times he and I go to lunch. Once a month, twice a month, whatever. And then we talk that yang, yo. I asked him the other day, hey, all I want for Black History Month is one white heterosexual couple in a commercial. Can you deliver, Reginald? He said all he wanted was one time, one commercial, two-time MVP Lamar Jackson in that commercial. Fair enough. Fair enough. Why isn't Lamar Jackson in any commercials? Man, did I get off the beaten path right there. But anyway, Reggie brought a big question, and so do I. One white heterosexual couple in one commercial for 2024. I'm not mad. I could see somebody saying Dakich is mad. No, Dakich is making fun. Hell, Volkswagen, they had two in a couple in a car, and it had to be a lesbian couple or a gay dudes. Stop it with the gay and lesbian. We get it. Good for you. How about a mom and dad? Anyway, I digress. So, is Caleb Williams the next Lamar Jackson? And those of you that listen to the show know that I'll say there's no way because I have an unhealthy love and respect for Lamar Jackson. He's my favorite player. Every time I watch him play, I don't know how you stop him, except when he has to throw it too much. But that's okay. Don't run. Anyway, so that becomes the question. Well, our friend, Merrill Hoge, friend of the show, he's been on it twice. Merrill Hoge had something to say about it. Merrill Hoge was asked about Caleb Williams. Now, remember, many people feel it is like Elway's the greatest prospect of all time. Manning was Elway, right? Luck was Elway and Manning. Caleb Williams is better than all of them, some have said. Not Merrill Hoge. Give a listen.
Well, I've only watched Caleb Williams 3 games last year, 3 this year, so I'm only halfway done, okay? The one thing that is clear, he is not special. He is not something unique like a Patrick Mahomes, and I hope the Bears don't think, well, let's try to make up for our mistake when we pass up Patrick Mahomes and go get the Patrick Mahomes. The kid is not Patrick Mahomes, ain't even remotely close to that. It is unfair to Justin Fields. He has had new coordinator. There's no possible way you can know about your guy when you do that. It's the worst thing that can happen to any player, especially the quarterback. Now, when Justin came out, the one thing that I thought he had just inexperience. He just needed more experience. He lacked that. But what I have seen in Justin Fields, from my evaluation, there's enough growth and hope there that I would not let him go because I see enough there.
Yeah, see, I don't know that. I don't know that. I'm curious why he isn't special. Like, he didn't really say right there why Caleb Williams is not special. I think that a lot of people feel he is. I've seen him throw. He looks very good. I've seen him move. I think he's very good. I don't know that there's anything he can't do, but I will say this. This is what's going to get scrutinized. I want to go home and pet my puppy. I want to jump in the stands with my mom. I'm a commercial guy. The team got better when he was out. He seems like fame has gone to his head, but I don't know. I listened to the comments of the players after his backup threw 6 touchdown passes in a watered-down bowl game, and they sure seemed to like playing without him. Now, one thing about Andrew Luck, I've never heard anything bad about Andrew Luck from teammates or Peyton Manning or Elway or whoever else you want to make as the best player ever. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about Pat Mahomes. But it is interesting because this is what we're going to discuss from now until draft day. If you're asking me right now, I'm not the person to ask because I sometimes care about the wrong things. I see something like a guy jumping and hugging his mommy after a game, and I'm like, sack the living hell up. It's a man's league. Let me ask you a question, and I don't know the answer to this. We all know who Mahomes' drunken dad is, and we feel bad for the whole family because, the dad obviously is dealing with some stuff as he got his third DUI. But do we ever really see his mother? Ever? Like, I was thinking about this. We always see Peyton Manning's dad. Do we ever see his mom? Andrew Luck's dad. Do we ever see his mom? See, pictures like this, like what Caleb Williams is right here, I'm like, you're a fake tough guy. I don't want you. I always think the fingers and the faces, I think they tell a story, but I'm wrong. I'm 100% wrong. I know I'm wrong. They don't tell anything. But I feel like they do because I'm weird that way. Because Bob Knight taught me that everything mattered. My high school coach taught me nothing mattered. Go out there and get 30, Dakich, and let's go. But that's high school. It's a lot different. So I don't know. I'm going to know. But as I sit here right now, you got a pretty good quarterback. You got a lot of people questioning this guy. Your staff better be pretty good. And frankly, Caleb Williams kind of gives me gas. I'm overexposed to certain people. Robbie Hummel, I'm overexposed. Every time I turn a Big Ten game on, Robbie Hummel's talking and talking and talking and talking and talking to the point where and I like Robbie. I consider Robbie sort of kind of a friend. I don't really know him. I know him well enough. Hey, Robbie, or laugh with him or joke with him. And Caleb Williams wore me out. I couldn't watch a commercial without Caleb Williams. Mahomes would have wore me out, but they won again. Kelce would have wore me out, but he made big plays late. Funny how that happens. But anyway, I don't know. What I do know is this is all we're going to be talking about from now until draft day. And I ain't mad about it. What the hell? This is always amazing to me. Like, it doesn't matter if it is, what's the date today? Let's just say it's Valentine's Day. It's the 12th. On the 12th of February, on the 12th of May, on the 12th of June, on the 12th of August, on the 12th of October, on the 12th of December, on the 12th of February, year-round, we're going to be talking about somehow, some way, the Dallas Cowboys stinking. The great Seth Greenberg came on one of my shows, and he's like, you know what? I'm so tired of our own network firing Mike McCarthy. I'm so tired of our own network. Mike McCarthy hadn't coached a game in 6 weeks last year, and every time you turned on the TV, Mike McCarthy was getting fired. He was getting fired for who knows what. Well, the latest is this. The latest is Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith, great running back, all-time leading rusher. Emmitt Smith, Super Bowl champ. Emmitt Smith, one of the big three with Aikman and that crazy-ass Michael Irvin. But every time somebody like that says something, it becomes major news. So latest is Emmitt Smith. He's, quote, embarrassed by the Cowboys. Why do we care so much about the Cowboys? Do you? Here's what he said. I've never been at a place that I'm at right now. It is borderline embarrassing. I'm done. It's almost like when I think about what I've experienced over the last year with the Cowboys. I've never been at this place, at the place I'm at right now. All right. Like, you read that and you go, all right. It's like when I complain about Indiana. People say, well, Mike Woodson's listening. Well, of course Mike Woodson's listening because I coached at the place, because I'm an icon. I'm not a legend. Not like Emmitt Smith. I'm a hanger-on. I'm an guy. But I got a big mouth, good opinion, and frankly, around Indiana, nobody knows Indiana basketball more than me. So when I say I'm embarrassed, I tell you why. And I am embarrassed. Actually, I felt like the 20-point loss to Purdue was kind of a win. I was at the game. I was 10 feet behind the basket in the tunnel. thanks to Chris Foreman, the SID at Purdue. He let my wife and I just stand there. We had only one of 2 seats on press row. And I didn't want to leave my wife. So we stood there. We watched. Great seats. I'll get into it later. But I got to tell you, I was embarrassed because Indiana just isn't as good as Purdue. Well, I get what Emma Smith's saying. Emma Smith's saying, look, where we're at right now, the whole shebang is embarrassing. There's nothing positive coming out of the Cowboys. But the truth of the matter is, this is like a big deal. I'm talking about it on the greatest morning show in the world. It's amazing to me. Every single day you can, on national TV, get Cowboy content, and people are going to pay attention. It's the damnedest thing. I'm guessing today on Fox or NFL or ESPN, they won't talk about Mike McCarthy or Dak. They'll give it a blow here probably for the next 2 days. But what's today? Monday? By Friday, the conversation will shift, and it'll be about Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy. Why isn't Dak Prescott as good as Patrick Mahomes? Well, because Mike McCarthy's not as good as Andy Reid. That's coming. Maybe we should do a show on it. Seems like y'all like those kind of things. I don't. I like talking about the winners and everybody else. Look at that face. Huh. This is the weirdest story of the year. Like, this is weird. So I saw something that Bo Jackson, listen to this story. Bo Jackson won $21 million in an extortion case. I thought, great. You know, it's Bo Jackson. Maybe somebody's got a video of him talking about, I don't know. There's a video of me. There's a video of everybody. My buddy Worm has videos of us going back years, naked, jumping up. I assume Worm's going to extort me at some point. But anyway, I saw this. I thought, okay. And then I read it. Listen to this. The lawsuit filed in April. All right, so the other day, Bo Jackson wins $21 million. That Thomas Lee Anderson and his sister Erica M. Anderson Ross tried to extort $20 million from the Pro Bowler through harassment. Let's keep following me. Jackson claimed the harassment started 2022, including threatening social media posts and messages, public allegations that put him in a false light, public disclosure of private information intended to cause him distress. You know who these clowns are? You know who these guys are? The Anderson duo? They are his niece and nephew. That's right. Bo Jackson's niece and nephew decided to extort money from Uncle Bo by whatever they did with social media posts, whatever they did everywhere. Unbelievable. Look, I get it. Like in my case, some dipstick radio announcer, oh, man, there's a video of you. You damn right there is. It's like Pat McAfee says, bring it out and let's get more popular. But Bo Jackson won $21 million. Bo Jackson decided he wasn't going to stand for it. Bo Jackson said, let's go, and won $21 million from his niece and nephew. We expect it out of random individuals, but not your niece and nephew. I hope these clowns have to pay. I'm just thinking to myself, Thomas Lee Anderson and Erica M. Anderson Ross, I guarantee you, they, to quote the vernacular, ain't got a pot to piss in. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got a pot. And yet Uncle Bo wants $21 million from him. I think that's awesome. I do. Good for Bo Jackson. He ain't taking no mess. In the dumbest story of the weekend, Draymond Green is back in being stupid. Remember he swatted Jusuf Nurkic? And that's what led to the idiot that is Draymond Green going off to fake rehab. And basically, he went to fake rehab. The Warriors called all the white media in the NBA and said, hey, man, he's in rehab. Be nice to him. And white media's like, oh, yeah, you know we will. And the black media and the NBA is like, hey, man, we just want to go clubbing with him. I just need something, Mark Spears. I just need somebody to say something nice about me so I can win another award. DEI, let's go. Anyway, so Nurkic says this about Draymond Green. That's sad. He didn't learn anything. Just a matter of time. He's going to hit someone else again. Take back everything I said. He don't deserve him. I'm never going to do that. Quiet guys don't win. You can keep rocking with that same horse that he rode in on. He can ride his ass right out of here on the same horse. It's not working. It's interesting. It's very interesting. He ain't wrong. I've always said this. Quiet don't win. I used to be able, this is going to sound weird to a lot of you that never coached. I used to be able to walk out of the locker room at Assembly Hall, and the court was right over there. There was a curtain, a door, and I could hear shoes. And if I could hear shoes, I knew practice was going to be all right. When I was at Bowling Green, the court was, I had to leave my office, go around the door, down the hall, and out onto the court. By the time I got in front of the locker room as a head coach, if I could hear squeaking and moving and talking, I knew we were going to have a good practice. If I didn't hear it, I stopped, I gathered myself, and I got my game face on, and I went immediately out, and we were going to have a good practice, at least to me, one way or the other. A good practice might have been I just kicked everybody's ass out and MF'd everybody for 30 minutes. I don't know. Couldn't do it now, did it then. If you don't like it, I don't care. But Green ain't wrong. You can ride in on a quiet horse. You can be that nice European, or you can be loud. You can be tough. You can be angry. You can be fierce. I'll give Green that. The problem with Green is he goes overboard into stupid land. And when you go to stupid land, you cost your team. And when you cost your team, there's resentment. Green's not wrong. Quiet sucks. It goes back a while. It's one of the reasons NBA teams initially, now this is going back 15, 20 years, maybe longer, didn't really want to draft Euros. Nice guys, quiet, energy, not there. Jump shooters. Who needs that? We need warriors. We need tough guys. Michael Jordan, loud. Magic Johnson, loud. Larry Bird, loud. Kevin McHale, loud. Isaiah Thomas, loud. What the hell were their name? I forget. What was Isaiah Thomas's team's name? I can't remember. Son of a biscuit maker. Whatever. Bad boys, loud. They were. Showtime, loud. Name me a quiet team. I don't know about you, but it felt like to me Michigan football, loud. Kansas City Chiefs, loud. Yankees back in the day, loud. How about the Red Sox breaking the curse, loud. Quiet don't win. Ralph Waldo Emerson. I don't know many quotes. My favorite poem is If by Rudyard Kipling. But Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, nothing great is ever achieved without enthusiasm. I don't know if I've achieved anything great in my life, but I know I got enthusiasm because, well, I pay attention. Loud. Loud ain't bad, particularly in basketball. And I'll give Draymond Green credit. He's right here. Just don't act like an idiot. Don't go overboard.